women like vulnerable men so much. And I wish more men would just realize and internalize that.
If a sub wants to approach you now, how should they best get your attention?
Love nothing more than to toy with Brennan Lee Mulligan and see what his patience is like with playing with all of us. Yeah, it'll be so fun.
Oh my God, yeah.
You have to slam yourself in the balls again. Oh no.
Whoops. You know?
We had a 6-hour-long session.
Ooh.
What is it about me that draws you to me? And they were just like, I like mean goth girls.
I think a lot of people underestimate how much work it takes to make even one video. Can you walk us through your process from, beginning to end, from scripting, figuring out the lingerie, to setting it up, all the way to hitting publish?
Of course. So I first start with an idea. I actually have a Google sheet where I include all of my clip title ideas. And sometimes I just have a title, but I don't really have anything to go with it. I just know the kink that it's going to pertain to and the wording that I want to have on the thumbnail. And then I have another Google sheet, I keep so organized, where I have a little bit of storyboarding. But I don't write scripts. Everything is off the cuff. So if it comes out of my mouth, 9 times out of 10, it makes it into the final piece. So I will figure out an outfit that suits me. I kind of go gothic, lots of hardware, so silver and gold tones with a lot of black or latex, some type of heeled shiny boot, and then like a dark smoky eye. And normally I'll just kind of look at the similar clips that I want to do that would be good in that outfit, and I'll film them in that same outfit. So I probably do maybe like 2 hours of filming, try to get 5 or 6 clips out. And then I bring it into Premiere. I can edit pretty quickly because if I need to stop because of a noise outside, or if I, have a little blunder, I put this up in front of the screen to know that's where I stop and need to cut, and it expedites the process. And then it's a matter of exporting out of Premiere and then uploading. So it's a pretty cut and dry, factory assembly line type of deal. It's very one way.
Yeah. How much time do you think, like in total, all of that is? Like how many hours?
So not counting the 2 hours that it takes for my Premiere to export because I need a new desktop desperately. I would say that makeup takes about 30 minutes to an hour. Setup and set dressing takes another 10 minutes. Filming probably takes like an hour total for all those clips. So I would say for every individualized clip, you're probably looking at, minus the exporting time on my software, probably about like 3 hours or so for a good clip, because lighting, everything has to be perfect. I'm very particular with how it looks.
Yeah. And how do you keep your creative flow going? How do you get new inspiration?
Oh my gosh, it boils down to the type of media that I consume. I play Dungeons and Dragons, I watch anime, I play video games, I read horror and fantasy novels. And if I find a single idea, I pull out my phone instantly and I'm like, put it down in at least the storyboarding. And then I'll just kind of come back to it, or I'll look at it and expand on it a little bit, and then just take that eventually into the studio and film it.
Speaking of Dungeons & Dragons, we did a really fun Double Dom clip recently where, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favorites.
Explain that one, yeah.
We were initiating somebody into our D&D team, and we put him through his paces in order to join.
Yep, we were 2 very mean girls who, if you're going to be on our team, you got to perform. And so we really make them go through the ringer in order to join us.
Yeah, we did.
That is still one of my favorite Double Dom clips of all time.
I know.
It was so much fun. We should do a series on it, honestly.
We should get a big, an actual gameplay table that's completely covered in things, has the gold and red backlight underneath the table.
Yeah.
We should make it seem like maybe we're the BBEGs, the big bad evil guys, and that we are actually tormenting our players by making roll for initiative. Oh, you got a nat 1, you did a critical fail, so now you have to slam yourself in the balls again. Oh no.
Whoops. Alexxxia and I were talking about this a little earlier, but if D20 ever has like a dungeon mistress episode, we would be just over the moon if that happens. Like, oh my gosh, that would be so much fun.
It would make my life. It would make
it would make our life.
I would love nothing more than to toy with Brennan Lee Mulligan and see what his patience is like with playing with all of us. Yeah, it would be so fun.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, Brennan, if you're listening to this, hopefully this will turn into a clip and we can tag him. Make it happen. We would love to be on D20.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it'll go viral, hopefully.
Oh, absolutely. The amount of people that watch Dropout that are also probably incredibly horny and incredibly kinky.
Yeah.
That Venn diagram's middle section has to be wide.
Yeah. The number of subs that I've had D20 or game changer conversations with is like, I was like, we were synergistically on the same level.
I love having subs like that. It's so fun when I have subs that are also nerds.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing aftercare, I can just say like, oh, did you see like the new Demon Slayers movie? Or did you see that new episode of Game Changer? That makes for some of the best aftercare is talking about silly little nerdy things like that.
Yeah. Speaking of nerdom, all of that, we're going to be at Anime New York City this year again. We were there last year. This happens every single year. You cosplay a lot. What is your cosplay for this year?
Oh my gosh. So it's kind of a couple of plans. I made a Sonic the Hedgehog cosplay for a competition, so I'm going to bring it back. I'm looking at doing a slutty version of Conquer from Conquer's Bad Fur Day, which is an N64 game from forever ago. I might be doing Mira from K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't know yet.
I just read an erotica about K-pop Demon Hunters. It was so good.
It's only a matter of time before it hits the internet.
I was like, it's her going to her demon form and like, you know, topping one of the girls.
Honestly, what's really funny is I wanted to do the demon patterns once I got her. I want to do like a demon alt of her. I think it, like for her energy, like being such a badass, I think it'd be really, really cool and kind of hot. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, are you doing any other cosplays for New York City or?
Right now it's kind of up in the air to see like how much time I have because I procrastinate like a motherfucker. So it's really just what type of plan I can get together. I normally bring like 3 or 4 for the weekend.
Yeah. We were chatting a little bit earlier and I'm going to be the president in the student council president from prison school. Some of my subs are coming up dressed as like the male prison students. And if she has time for us, we might be doing like a double cosplay situation, which
being the vice president would be fun.
Being the vice president would be really, really fun and really, really hot. So, you know, keep your eyes out for that if that happens. I would love to also know for your D20 campaigns, what has been one of your favorite campaigns of all time?
Oh gosh, I've been in an on and off campaign for about 3.5, 4 years. And my character is a half-orc rogue, arcane trickster rogue, so she can use magic. And she has the libido of a bard. So think of this like 6'3" giant curvy green woman that's just inconsolably horny and just wants to rob men. So, you know, kind of like me in real life. Life imitates art.
It does.
Yeah. But I remember there was one time where I was playing and we were trying to get this one NPC out of his home. And I rolled a very high charisma check and I was trying to seduce him out of his home to kind of talk to us. And even though I rolled high, I believe I rolled an 18, this NPC said to my character, "Oh, my green woman, you could never afford me." And the way I sat there gobsmacked, like I personally had been wrong. And the DM had just said, "Doesn't feel good now, does it?" And I'm like, I didn't appreciate that humbling at all. But I was like, fair point. How I get
the
it.
Tables have turned.
I know.
You're like, I know what this feels like
so
now.
So rude.
Awful. How dare they?
I know.
Do you find that a lot of your subs are very nerdy then and also really into cosplay? Do you have like a primary sub demographic?
So I do. I have a lot of 20-somethings that are attracted to my style because of the D&D or because of the anime and the cosplay little bits that I pepper onto my social media. And if people search far enough, they can find my cosplay page really easily. But when it comes to the type of clientele that I attract, It's normally they are three things. They, for some reason, are all engineers. They are, for the most part, neurodivergent, mostly ADHD, and they're nerdy. And I remember asking several of them because one day I was just curious and I had said, okay, what is it about me that draws you to me? And they were just like, I like mean goth girls. And I said, okay, that tracks.
Yeah, it absolutely tracks.
Yeah. They just wanted to get bullied a little bit by like all these goth dami mommies that they see in all these cartoons growing up and all this anime. And here I am in the flesh to deliver unto them that fantasy made reality. So
it's true. And it's such a like, it is you know, it's not even like a heightened persona. Sometimes people are in this industry, they're like, this is who I am in my personal life, this is who I am as Dom. But for you, it's just like, this is who I am. And I have so much fun with it.
Yeah, one of my subs said that I was a menace. And I'm like, wow, that's what people say about me outside the dungeon. So much of my personality does lend to who I am as a Dom. And I think that's really important, is not putting on a complete new persona when you are being a Dom. If you are more true to who you were outside the dungeon, while inside the dungeon, you're going to have a lot more genuine connections with people. You have more to talk about.
I absolutely agree with that. I find that longevity in this industry is really like you get into it because you have a love of the game, right? Like you've loved this before you went pro, and that's what makes you really good at it.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, now you get compensated for doing something that you've been passionate about your entire life.
Exactly. Yeah. It all just worked out perfectly.
I would love to know about some of the DS dynamics and maybe relationships that you've been in. What is your longest lasting sub?
My
Who is your longest lasting sub?
So unfortunately, he was a human puppy that had to unfortunately leave a dynamic with me, but he was with me for about a year and a half. And I know that it doesn't really seem that long, but considering how quickly dynamics can kind of filter through, it does seem long by comparison. But this guy actually was very close to being absorbed into red pill material.
Oh,
and then he found me. We had a session, and it was like instant connection. We went to New Orleans together for DomCon. When Goddess Alexander Snow opened Wicked Eden, he was my little squire that was with me at the gala.
I remember him. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that was him. Cute.
Yeah. So if he's watching, miss you, Aaron. But yeah, he was just the sweetest thing. He was so understanding of his place and in dynamic with me. And he was so unjealous and genuine. And he definitely believed in compersion. So if he wasn't able to do something, but he saw another sub doing it for me, he was my biggest cheerleader. And I think that's incredibly important. I believe that there should be collaboration and compersion, but if it's the toxic type of competition, that serves no point in a dynamic. That dynamic is going to essentially fester and die. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's really important for every sub to know their role and their place. And really like center like us in whatever DS dynamic is there. And do you have a favorite sub right now? And what makes them your favorite?
I do.
Speaking of competition.
So I'm actually wearing his key right now. And the Louboutins that he got me from his last time visiting me. He's been someone who has been serving and seeing me for going on a little over 3 years, about 3.5 years. He just happened upon me one day online and then sent a tribute and then just kind of kept his distance. And then as time went on, it was more sends, more talking, more bonding, more. And then one day he comes over to Manhattan and stays for a bit and says, I want to see you. And we had a 6-hour long session.
Ooh.
And then he took me out to Omakase and then sent me on my way. And now we are incredibly close. Like he is my best boy. He's not owned by me, but he does like to say that he is owned by the women that he cares about most in his life. And I just happen to be one of them. So we just have communal obsession from this man that is just so fun. He's also the one that called me a menace, so he knows me probably better than
he sees you.
Oh no, he does. I even told him recently, when you're someone who has autism and you are in a professional like pro dom type of air, you're somebody that has to kind of mask that, and as women you're kind of brought up to mask it pretty easily. And I've fully unmasked around him, and he's seen how unhinged I can get, and he adores me even more. And I'm like, that should be universal energy of all the men serving me.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I really, really love that. One last question before we head to some fun rapid fires. If a sub wants to approach you now, how should they best get your attention?
Definitely with a tribute, and as well as a way of remembering that your ego needs to be in check when you approach me. I'm not someone that is going to say that you need to lower yourself and get rid of every part of who you are, but you do need to realize that if you're someone that wants to serve me, you need to serve. You shouldn't talk about it, you should be about it. Action means everything. Words hold absolutely no weight. But you also should be someone that wants to be someone to evolve with me, not just beside me, and someone that should get to know the things that I like in a kinky and non-kinky capacity so we have more to bond over. The best dynamics that I've had are with subs that their vanilla tastes and their kink tastes are interwoven into this one perfect package that meshes so well with mine. And that's what kind of takes us into the long term, and that's what makes our dynamics stronger. So someone that really like similar things or is willing to give them at least a good college try, and someone that is recognizing that they know their place, but they're not going to forget who they are when they approach me. I should be able to see you for who you are no matter what.
Absolutely. You heard that here first, subs. That's how you approach if you want to get her attention. Let's move on to some fun rapid fires. Okay. So you recently had an iconic 28K drain on Loyalfans. What happened? Tell us all about it.
Oh my gosh. So I was actually in the middle of a double live stream with my friend Mistress A, who is one of my closest friends, gorgeous Dom. And then all of a sudden I get a $100 send from him. And I was just like, okay. Interesting. So I just go send again, and he does it. And I just think, okay, this seems fairly easy. I'm going to see how far it can go. So after the stream had ended, so for a bit I was multitasking, I had essentially just had the easiest time. I didn't really have to do anything. I sent him maybe 2 photos the whole time. And over 3 hours, I drained $28,000 from this man, mostly just by saying, I know you really are into me, but if you really want to show me like how good it feels, I think doubling it or tripling it, that'll just make your pleasure increase more. It's for science, you understand, right? I'm just collecting data. And he goes, you're absolutely right, mistress. Bam, I end up with $1,600 in my hand, and I just keep milking it and milking it. And then 3 hours later, I had $28,000. I had to take a walk.
That's such a crazy drain that just like dropped in your lap too.
Biggest of all time.
Do you know who this person is, or they just like appeared?
So I had played with him a minimal amount of time, and then he just vanished. So I probably scared him off, but he had approached me and he had said, I had been following you for the longest time. I'm a fan of some of your Findom clips, and I was scared to approach you, but I'm finally doing it now. And I'm just like, about damn time. But the adrenaline rush I got, the way I had some alone time after that, that's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was like, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I absolutely have to ask you about that situation. It's wild. What is your top 3 anime of all time?
Oh my God, that's like picking favorite children.
I know, this is a hard question. Maybe the hardest question yet.
So I loved Kill la Kill.
Okay.
Dungeon Meshi is actually really good.
I love Dungeon Meshi. I have the cookbook.
I need to get the cookbook.
It's really, really cute. You can get it at Kinokuniya.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then I think the third one is Chainsaw Man.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Are you following the manga?
I am not. So I'm not that big of a manga reader. I know I need to change that. I used to be, but No, I haven't been reading the manga.
Okay, I'm curious about it. It goes a certain direction.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen the like internet discourse about the direction it goes, but
I have not, but now I need to read this.
Yeah, I was curious about maybe what you thought about it, but yeah, Makima, love her character overall.
She's so evil. She's so ridiculously evil, and I
Yeah.
love that.
I cosplayed as Latex Makima last year at Anime New York City, and maybe I'll bring it back again
Please
this
do.
year. Yeah, I think she's like right up my alley. What are your thoughts on AI DOMs?
Hate it. I hate it. I know that it's very, AI is kind of taking over everything. And I don't hate AI as a whole concept. I think AI, when it comes to medicine and technology, can be incredibly important. But to say that you're going to use generative AI to create a watered down experience for people who are genuinely seeking human connection, it's very infuriating to see, because you're putting all of this information into this processor that's spitting out, I think, pretty similar regurgitated content if you really look at it. And I think it takes away from the humanism of BDSM as a whole. And some people will say, well, it's more accessible. Now, if you're a creator, that's operator error. Get over yourself, learn to be bad at something, and then build yourself up to be good. But if you are someone that is a sub, you're actually kind of stunting your own ability to get into these human relationships, because it's psychologically, it's not good for you to have these conversations when you could be just consuming clips and following the social media of DOMs. And then finally, when you feel emboldened approaching them, I feel like AI does set subs back, and it's doing them a major disservice. It's quick content that can be made cheaply, unless you count the cost of like what it's doing to the environment. But when it comes to experiencing BDSM, like actual BDSM dynamics online or in person or otherwise, I think that it's good to have the experience of like going to an actual human being to get it.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Do you think there might be potential in like DOMs using AI in any kind of way? For example, like you IP your own image, and then you can generate, versions of you that like might not be physically possible right here. And I'm thinking about like the one that the one that my mind goes to is like, I love strap-on play, right? I just want an AI version of me that has like a real cock, or maybe like 3 at the same time. You know what I mean?
That.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like tentacles coming out of me.
I think, honestly, like as someone who also cosplays, I think I can kind of use those skills to get as close to it as possible.
Yeah.
But I also know that like AI can kind of like make people have too much suspended belief. Sometimes I'm like, what would I look like with a cock? Or what would I look like if I had demon eyes? But certain things kind of do allow us to get close.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think like the type of dom that I am is just more like I will cosplay as this, or I will dress up as this. So that I think my subs can like see me like also as a human, because I think AI might also start to kind of create unrealistic expectations of DOMs. And I don't want it to get to the point where men are asking for things that are just like physically non-possible, because it's unfair to us at the end of the day too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the downsides currently in the way that it's being distributed and made is far outweighs the upsides. And it's always surprising to me too, because I feel like there could be potential, as a tool, if DOMs have like access to, using it as a creative medium. But there's so much censorship that we actually can't do that, and we have all this slop instead.
I know.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate.
Sometimes the other side of my brain is just going, man, it's AI stuff and it's not even good.
I know.
You have prompts and that's what came out of it?
Like,
How dare
do
you?
a little better.
Polluting my eyes. How rude.
Yeah, I was like quickly scrubbing through some of the AI content recently. I was like, not very good.
No.
That you have every, technology at your fingertips, and this is the best script you could come up with.
It's just like, very cheap and quick. It's like, make them wait.
Yeah,
Make the horny men wait.
Exactly. If a sub wants to bring up his submissiveness to his girlfriend, and she has no idea so far, what advice would you give for him to bring it up in the best way possible?
I think this is someone, if you're in a partnership with someone, this is someone that's supposed to love you implicitly. And I think now being 2025, we're kind of at a part where we can just better express ourselves and our sexuality. You are going to have to talk with her. Honestly, I also think that another thing that you need to do is you need to inspire her to want to dominate you. Kind of like how you can't just like not do anything if men are sitting at home and they're not doing chores or doing anything that makes a woman want to, you know, be intimate with him where she feels appreciated. I think that that needs to carry over into wanting to make your girlfriends dominate you. Like get her outfits that make her feel sexy and powerful. Maybe I think the smallest step is getting on your knees and helping put on her shoes or like tie her shoes for her or picking things up for her. It starts with small things. Then have that talk with her. If she loves you, like as long as you're not asking for anything super extreme, like I think like saying like, you know, can we try you taking the lead a little bit more often from someone you love? Like, I don't think that guys should be embarrassed by it. I know they're trained to be the domineering force, but women like vulnerable men so much. And I wish more men would just realize and internalize that and pursue that with their partners. Yeah, when I see a female-led relationship, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, women love men who yearn deeply.
Yearning is so hot. Desperation is so hot.
Yeah, just like that deep desire to like, yeah, just like you have my 110, 120% and just to like give in that way. And I think, you know, in general, I think women love the feeling of that. Yeah. Thank you, Alexxxia, for being on. It was so lovely catching up. And I will see you at Anime New York City.
I will see you there.
Thanks for watching this episode of Uncensored with MX Tomie. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're a very good sub. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon, and all the other apps that I'm on. I'll see you on the next one.